What if one of the most important companies that's powering AI data centers isn't an AI software company at all? And what if the real winners of the AI boom are the ones that are actually building the physical infrastructure behind NVIDIA's most advanced chips? And the biggest question investors keep asking me lately is, can this company stock actually 5 times? Can it become a five-bagger by 2030? Or is margins and competition going to cap its upside? Today, I'm breaking down Supermicro, the business, the numbers, the catalysts, the risks, and whether this stock deserves a long-term spot in your portfolio. Now, if you're new to the channel, hey, what's up? My name is Rick Orford. I've been trading since 1999, and no, I'm not a financial advisor. That is a good thing. I break down the numbers so retail investors like us can make smarter, more confident decisions with our money. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. And you all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with the Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by almost 6 times. Go to fool.com/Ricko to get your 10 stock picks right now. Okay, so let's start with the basics. Supermicro Computer Incorporated is an informational technology company that designs and manufactures high-performance server, storage, and networking systems that are used in enterprise, cloud, and of course, AI data centers. Now, this company was founded in 1993, and they're headquartered in San Jose, California. Its focus is modular and rack infrastructure that's built specifically for compute-intensive workloads. At the core of Supermicro's offering is its data center building block solutions. This platform provides pre-validated server, storage, and networking designs that are optimized for specific workloads. The benefit here is simplicity. These systems reduce design complexity, they shorten integration timelines, and they make data center deployment faster and more efficient for their customers. Supermicro works closely with major semiconductor partners, including NVIDIA, to deliver GPU-accelerated systems for AI training and inference. Its portfolio includes both air-cooled and liquid-cooled architectures that are designed to support higher power densities while improving energy efficiency. So by keeping design, manufacturing, and global supply in-house, Supermicro, they serve enterprise, hyperscalers, and AI customers with configurable infrastructure that can scale quickly while also controlling cost, power consumption, and deployment risk. These are all things that their customers are demanding today. So now that we understand the business, let's look at what's been happening with the company recently. Supermicro recently outlined a broad expansion across both hyperscale and enterprise AI markets. The company increased its manufacturing capacity and advanced its liquid cooling capabilities to support upcoming NVIDIA Vera Rubin platforms, and these are going to be hot in 2026. Supermicro's goal here is to shorten deployment timelines by combining in-house design, rack-scale manufacturing, and of course its modular data center building block solutions approach. At the same time, the company expanded beyond large data centers. Supermicro introduced new AI workstations, AI PCs, and edge systems that are all built on NVIDIA, Intel, and AMD platforms. And these products bring server-grade AI performance into desk-side, on-premises, and edge environments for developers, startups, research teams, and enterprise users. Altogether, these updates just prove to me that Supermicro is doing everything they can to scale in 2 directions at one time. On one side, it's deepening its role in next-generation AI factories. On the other, it's pushing enterprise-class AI compute closer to end users. And this reinforces Supermicro's strategy of applying the same modular design, cooling, and integration expertise across the full spectrum of AI deployments. So, With that context, let's see what's showing up in the financials. In its first quarter of fiscal 2026, Supermicro reported $5 billion of revenue. That figure declined about 15% from $5.9 billion in the same period last year, all reflecting softer demand and changes in customer ordering behavior. And net income also fell to roughly $168 million, down from $424 million last year. I mean, that's a decline of about 60% on the backs of lower gross profit and higher operating costs. But despite gross margins of roughly only 9% for the quarter, liquidity is still a very big strength for the company. Supermicro reported about $12.7 billion in current assets versus just $2.35 billion in current liabilities. That's a current ratio of 5.39. That just means that Supermicro has more than $5 for every $1 of short-term debt. The company also ended the quarter with around $4 billion in cash and cash equivalents, which provides them a very large buffer to support operations and working capital needs. Now, looking ahead, management guided second quarter fiscal 2026 revenue to come in between 10 and 11 million. And for the full fiscal year, they expect at least 36 billion in revenue. So now that we have the numbers, the big question becomes what could drive growth from here and what could get in the way? And this exact question has come up recently in Discord, so I think now is a very good time to break it down. And to me, one of the biggest growth catalysts I see for Supermicro is its deepening partnership with NVIDIA. This partnership directly ties Supermicro to the rollout of next-generation AI infrastructure. A clear example of this, right? Supermicro is delivering turnkey AI factory clusters based on NVIDIA enterprise reference architectures and Blackwell GPUs. And as I talked about earlier, Supermicro, well, they're also expanding manufacturing capacity as well as liquid cooling support for the upcoming NVIDIA Vera Rubin and HGX platforms. And this matters because it positions Supermicro as now an end-to-end AI infrastructure provider, not just some server run-of-the-mill server manufacturer. Turnkey AI factory solutions, which are complete and ready-to-run systems, well, they often increase deal sizes. I mean, the invoice gets so much bigger. They deepen customer lock-in, and they favor Supermicro in both enterprise and hyperscaler deployments. And beyond NVIDIA, Supermicro formed a dedicated federal entity to deliver US-designed and manufactured data center systems for the government. This opens the door to larger contracts, deeper agency relationships, and even more durable revenue that's tied to long-term federal AI and infrastructure spending. But of course, no story is without talking about the risks and red flags to the company. And right now, the most pressing risk is margin pressure. Gross margin dropped to about 9% from roughly 13% last year. Why? Well, higher costs and pricing pressure. Even with strong shipment volumes, each dollar of revenue today generates a little bit less profit. If margins remain this low, earnings growth will be very hard to sustain. Financial flexibility, it shrinks, and the company becomes more exposed if demand slows down or expenses rise even further. Now, with the catalysts and the risks laid out, let's have a look at the stock as it's trading right now. Supermicro currently trades around $32 a share, giving it a market cap of about $17.5 billion. Now, the stock is up about 5% over the last 52 weeks. But if we zoom out, the performance is very different. Over the last 3 years, the stock is up around 308%. But is Supermicro stock a buy right now? Well, consider that a consensus among 19 analysts, they rate the stock a moderate buy. And that's an upgrade from a hold rating over the last 3 months. The average score is 3.47 out of 5, and the highest price target is $64 a share. And that suggests the stock could almost double over the next year. But the bigger question is this: can Supermicro realistically grow 5 times by 2030? Well, at roughly $32 a share and a $17.5 billion market cap, a 5-bagger move suggests a market cap of about $90 billion by 2030. And that kind of growth can't be driven by hype alone. For the stock to grow 5 times, I see net income needing to reach, let's say around 2 to 2.5 billion by 2030. That assumes revenue of 55 to 65 billion, gross margins recovering to around 12 to 15%, and operating margins in the 5 to 7% range. At those earnings levels, a $90 billion valuation would imply a price to earnings of around 40. It's not cheap, but not completely unreasonable, especially for a company that's positioned as a core enabler of AI infrastructure. But from what I've seen before, revenue grows first during expansion. Meanwhile, the margin contracts during, then recovers later. But of course, all of this is going to depend on execution. Sustained hyperscale and enterprise AI demand, leadership in rack scale AI factory deployments, and disciplined margin management will ultimately determine the final outcome. Now, before I go, let me turn it over to you. Do you think that Supermicro is worth owning in the long term? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, if you found the video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps others find the video, it supports the channel, and it makes sure that you don't miss out on my next deep dive. Well, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.